Video opens with grainy, black and white footage of a dark, foggy English moor or a desolate, ancient stone circle at twilight. A sense of unease builds. Have you ever heard a story so chilling, so strange, that it stays with you long after the lights are back on? England, with its ancient castles and misty landscapes, is a treasure trove of such tales, mysteries that have baffled investigators and haunted locals for centuries. Today, we're journeying into the heart of these shadows, exploring some of England's most terrifying and unsolved cases. Forget what you think you know about ghost stories. These are tales where the lines between folklore, fact, and fear have blurred completely, leaving behind nothing but chilling questions. And our first stop takes us to a lonely, windswept hill in the West Midlands, where a gruesome discovery in 1943 sparked the mystery that endures to this day. It's the story of a woman found hidden inside a tree, a victim with no name. Only a haunting question scrawled across the town walls. Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? For teenage boys out poaching in Hagley Wood stumbled upon a large wych elm tree. Looking for birds' nests, one of them climbed up and peered into its hollow trunk. What he saw would haunt him forever. A human skull with tufts of hair still attached. When police investigated, they unearthed an almost complete female skeleton, along with scraps of clothing and a gold wedding ring. The scene was bizarre. The body had been placed inside the tree while it was still warm before rigor mortis set in. The coroner estimated she had been there for at least 18 months. Despite a nationwide investigation, her identity remained a complete mystery. No one knew who Bella was, where she came from, or how she ended up in that tree. But the story was far from over. Months after the discovery, graffiti began to appear across the region. Simple, chalked messages asking, "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?" The messages appeared for decades, a constant, eerie reminder of the unknown woman. Was it the killer, taunting the police? Or was it someone who knew the truth, trying to keep the memory alive? Theories swirled like the English fog. Some suggested it was a tale of witchcraft or ritualistic sacrifice. Others pointed towards wartime espionage, whispering that Bella was a German spy, silenced before she could talk. There were leads involving a Dutch cabaret singer and a local man who confessed on his deathbed. But nothing was ever proven. The case file remains open. The bones, which could have provided DNA evidence, mysteriously vanished years ago. Bella remains a ghost, her identity lost to time, her story immortalized by that single, haunting question. But not all of England's unsolved mysteries involve a body. Sometimes, it's the absence of one that's most terrifying. Let's travel back to 1900, to a remote lighthouse off the coast of the Outer Hebrides. Technically Scotland, but a tale too famous to ignore in British lore. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Mystery. Imagine this. A passing steamer notices the light is out. Strange, a relief vessel arrives a few days later to investigate. The lighthouse is locked from the inside. The clocks have all stopped. A meal is laid out on the table, untouched. And the three keepers, Thomas Marshall, James the Cat, and Donald MacArthur, are gone, vanished into thin air. There was no sign of a struggle, but a set of oilskins was missing, suggesting one man had rushed out into a storm. But the logbook entries were even stranger. They spoke of a terrible storm with winds the like of which I have never seen. The weather reports for those days showed calm seas. The final, chilling entry read, "Storm ended, sea calm. God is over all." What happened to those men? Did a freak wave, a monster of the sea, sweep them away from the cliff edge? It's the most logical explanation, yet it doesn't quite fit. Why would all three experienced keepers be outside at once, against all regulations? Why the strange logbook entries about a storm that didn't exist? Other, wilder theories emerged. Were they driven mad by the isolation? Did a fight break out? Or did something otherworldly visit the lonely rock? Some local legends speak of ancient sea spirits or the phantom of the 7 hunters who are said to haunt the Isles. The mystery has inspired poems, operas, and even a movie. Yet we are no closer to the truth. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse stands as a silent monument to three men who simply disappeared, leaving behind only an uneaten meal and an eternal, unsettling silence. Our final story takes us to the bustling heart of London, to a case that feels ripped from a horror film, but is disturbingly real. This is the story of the Jack the Stripper murders. Between 1964 and 1965, the bodies of 6, possibly 8, women were discovered in and around the river Thames. All were prostitutes, and all had been strangled and stripped naked. The press, echoing the horrors of Jack the Ripper from the century before, dubbed the unknown killer Jack the Stripper. The murders created a wave of panic across London. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was cold, methodical, and terrifyingly consistent. The killers seemed to be taunting the police, using West London as a dumping ground. The investigation was one of the largest in the history of the Metropolitan Police. Thousands were interviewed, and the list of potential suspects was vast. One man rose to the top of the list: Mungo Ireland, a security guard and former police officer. He was a prime suspect, and circumstantial evidence seemed to point his way. He even tellingly referred to the final victim by a nickname only her family knew. But before he could be formally charged, Ireland took his own life, leaving behind a note that read, "I can't stick it any longer." The police, believing they had their man, unofficially closed the case. The murder stopped, but was he truly the killer? Many detectives at the time weren't convinced. The evidence was thin, and a suicide isn't a confession. Other theories have since emerged, pointing to different suspects, including a boxer and even members of an infamous London crime family. But with no definitive proof, the identity of Jack the Stripper remains one of London's darkest secrets. The case is a grim reminder that even in a modern, crowded city, a monster can hunt in the shadows and vanish without a trace. From a skeleton in a tree to a lighthouse crew that vanished, and a serial killer who was never caught. These stories linger because they defy easy answers. They tap into our deepest fears. The fear of the unknown, the fear of what lurks in the dark, and the chilling realization that sometimes there is no justice and no neat conclusion. These aren't just stories. They are historical black holes, pulling in facts, theories, and folklore, leaving us to wonder what truly happened. Which of these unsolved cases do you find the most terrifying? Let me know your theories down in the comments below. If you're fascinated by the mysteries that history has left behind, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have so many more shadows to explore together. Thanks for watching.